Hello and welcome back. Let me ask you something right away. Did you know that the temperature in your home could affect your health more than you might imagine? You may think a little chill or a little heat is no big deal, but for older adults even, a few degrees can quietly increase the risk of illness, discomfort, and even dangerous accidents. That is why today we are uncovering the truth about the ideal room temperature for seniors and the surprising dangers of ignoring it. So stay with me, because what you hear today could change the way you feel in your own home. And trust me, by the end, you will see the thermostat in a completely new way. So grab a warm cup of tea or maybe some cool water, and let us dive into part 1.1. Why temperature matters. More as we age. Here is the first big idea. As we grow older, our bodies simply do not regulate temperature as smoothly as they once did. That is not a flaw or a weakness. It is simply part of the aging process. When we are younger, the body has a strong internal thermostat. It notices when we are cold. It fires up shivering muscles to make heat. It rushes blood to keep us warm. It notices when we are hot, and it triggers sweating to release heat and cool us down. But as the years pass, this built-in thermostat becomes less responsive. Seniors may not notice the chill of a cold room until their body temperature has already dropped. They may not feel the discomfort of a warm house until dehydration or dizziness sets in. This is why so many older adults underestimate the power of the indoor environment. The risk is not just about feeling chilly or sticky with sweat. The risk is about how the body reacts slowly, silently, and sometimes too late. Think of it like this. Imagine your favorite car that once had quick steering and smooth brakes. After many years, the steering is slower and the brakes take longer to respond. You can still drive it, but you must be more careful. That is exactly how the body changes with age when it comes to temperature control. And here is something important. When the body struggles to regulate temperature, it does not just create discomfort. It creates stress on the heart, lungs, and immune system. A simple cold room can increase blood pressure. A warm room can leave the body struggling to stay hydrated. So every degree matters more than you think. Point 2. The ideal range for comfort and safety. Now let us talk numbers, because knowing the safe zone can give peace of mind. Health experts agree that the safest indoor temperature for older adults is between 68 degrees Fahrenheit and 74 degrees Fahrenheit, or 20 to 23 degrees Celsius. This is not a random guess. This range is where the body works at its best. Circulation flows smoothly. The heart does not need to strain. Muscles stay flexible and balance is easier to maintain. Think about your daily routine. When the room is in this comfort zone, you move with ease. Your joints do not stiffen up. You feel awake and alert instead of groggy. Your sleep quality improves because the body is not fighting against an uncomfortable environment. Now, here is a question for you. Have you ever visited a friend and immediately felt their house was either too cold or too warm? Chances are, they had their thermostat outside this range. They might say, "Oh, I like it this way." But what they do not realize is that their body could be paying the price, especially if they are over 65. What is amazing is that by simply setting the thermostat within this safe zone, older adults can reduce their risk of accidents, illnesses, and even hospital visits. It is one of the simplest lifestyle changes yet, one of the most overlooked. So here's a tip. Do not rely only on how the room feels. Keep a reliable thermometer in the main living area and the bedroom. Check it often, because the body may not always tell you the truth quickly enough. That one little habit could protect your health day after day. Point 3. Why too cold is dangerous. Now, let us turn to the darker side of the scale. What happens if the room dips below 65 degrees Fahrenheit? On paper, that does not sound too bad. Some people even say they like the crisp air. But for older adults, this can be a hidden danger. When the room is too cold. The body has to work overtime to stay warm. Blood vessels tighten to hold in heat. The heart pumps harder. Muscles stiffen, and without noticing, balance becomes weaker. That is when a simple walk across the living room can lead to a fall colder. Temperatures also lower the effectiveness of the immune system. A chilly home can make it harder to fight off colds, flu, and other infections. And for anyone with existing heart problems, a cold room adds extra strain that could be risky. One of the most serious dangers is hypothermia. Many people imagine hypothermia only happens outdoors in freezing weather. But in reality, it can happen indoors when the room is just a bit too cold for too long. The scary part is that hypothermia in older adults does not always look dramatic. It can start with mild shivering or confusion and then progress quietly. By the time help is needed, it may already be serious. Here is something to picture. Imagine sitting in your favorite chair watching television. You do not feel terribly cold, but your body temperature has been dropping slowly for hours. Your hands are colder than you notice. Your heart is working harder than you realize. That is how quietly hypothermia can creep in. So what is the solution? Keep rooms warm enough and use extra layers if needed. Even a light sweater or blanket can help the body stay steady. And always remember, if the thermometer shows below 65 degrees, it is time to adjust the heat. So what have we learned so far? First, we discovered that aging changes the way the body senses and regulates temperature. Second, we learned that the ideal indoor range of 68 to 74 degrees is not just about comfort, but about safety and health. Third, we saw that rooms below 65 degrees can quietly invite stiffness, falls, illness, and even hypothermia. The lesson is clear. The thermostat is more than a device on the wall. For older adults, it is a tool for protection. It is a shield against risks that can appear silently in everyday life. And here's the big takeaway. You deserve to feel comfortable, safe, and energized in your own home by keeping your living space in the right temperature zone. You are not just making your house cozy, you are giving your body the best environment to thrive. Now that we've covered the risks of being too cold, let's look at the other side of the thermostat. Believe it or not, too much heat can be just as dangerous. Point 4. Why too hot is a problem. Let me ask you this. Have you ever walked into a stuffy room and suddenly felt tired or lightheaded? Now imagine that same feeling for someone over 65, whose body does not cool down as easily as it used to. When indoor temperatures climb above 78 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 26 degrees Celsius, the risk level goes up quickly. Older adults are more likely to experience dehydration, dizziness, and heat exhaustion in warm rooms. And here is where it gets more serious. Many medications that seniors take can actually interfere with the body's ability to sweat or stay cool. That means a warm room feels even warmer for the body inside. The heart has to pump harder. The blood vessels struggle to release heat. The system works overtime. What does that lead to? It can lead to fatigue, muscle weakness, confusion, or even fainting. And for someone already dealing with heart problems, kidney issues, or diabetes, the risk is magnified. Think about this. The body is like a finely tuned engine. When it runs too hot for too long, parts start to wear out. That is why maintaining a safe indoor temperature is not only about staying comfortable, it is about protecting the most important engine you will ever own. Your body point. 5. Signs. Your room is putting you at risk. Here is something vital to remember. Your body may not always shout its warnings in a loud voice. Often the signals are small and easy to miss. Pay attention to excessive sweating, because that could be your body trying desperately to cool down. Notice if you feel shivery or chilled, even in the heat, because this is a sign your cooling system is becoming overwhelmed. Be alert to unusual tiredness or sudden dizziness, because those are red flags telling you the temperature may not be as safe as you thought. I want you to picture this scene. You are sitting in your chair reading or watching television. You begin to feel slightly heavy in your eyelids. Your throat is dry, but you ignore it. Then you stand up and suddenly feel lightheaded. That is not just fatigue. That is your environment quietly working against your health. So here is the hook. Your home is meant to be your safe place, but if you are not watching the signs, it could turn into a hidden hazard without you even knowing. Point 6. Tips to stay in the safe zone. Now let us shift from problems to solutions. The good news is that with a few smart steps you can keep your living space safe and comfortable all year long. First, use a reliable room thermometer. Do not rely only on how the air feels on your skin. Our senses become less accurate with age, so the number on that thermometer is your best friend. Second, keep blankets and light layers within easy reach. This way you can adapt quickly if the temperature shifts. It is easier to remove a light layer than to recover from overheating. Third, remember hydration is a hidden hero. Water helps regulate body temperature from the inside out. Sipping water steadily through the day keeps your system balanced even when the room feels warm. Fourth, if you use heating or cooling systems, do not set them and forget them. Program your thermostat or use a timer to maintain consistency. Sudden swings in temperature can be just as stressful as prolonged heat. Here's an extra tip many people overlook. Close curtains during the hottest part of the day to block direct sunlight. A simple curtain can lower room temperature by several degrees without costing you a penny. Another idea is to create cross-ventilation by opening windows on opposite sides of the home during cooler evening hours. This allows fresh air to sweep through and refresh the space naturally. Point 7. The bottom line. Now let us bring it all together. For older adults, comfort is never just about feeling cozy. It is about safety and health. Keeping your living space between 68 and 74 degrees Fahrenheit gives your body the best chance to function smoothly and with less strain. Too cold invites stiffness, falls, lowered immunity, and even hypothermia. Too hot invites dehydration, dizziness, heat exhaustion, and stress on the heart. But the safe zone keeps you steady, strong, and ready to enjoy life fully. Your thermostat is not just a switch on the wall. It is a guardian of your health. It is a small decision with a big impact. By respecting that safe range, you reduce risks of accidents, you protect your energy, and you give your body a calm, supportive environment. So next time you reach for the thermostat, pause and remember this. The right temperature is more than comfort. It is peace of mind. It is confidence that your body is safe and supported right where you live. If this message has given you a new way to think about your home environment, then I encourage you to take action today. Check your rooms, adjust where needed, and give yourself the gift of safety and comfort. If you found this helpful, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on living your best life at every age. And remember, small changes make big differences.